we'll go through and talk about the Orioles because this is the most fascinating storyline in baseball outside of performance on the field. This is the funnest. This is the most. We have a soap opera happening in baseball right now.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was just going to say. This is literal soap opera. So we were joking earlier this year about how the Reds were like the real life iteration of Major League. It's like, no, they weren't. They were just going through a rough patch. Yeah. But no, this is real life Major League. So this is what's going on with the Orioles right now.
Yeah, tell us, Brad.
So you have Luis Angelos and John Angelos. They're sons of the owner of the Orioles, Peter Angelos.
Yep.
John is the CEO of the team and has been given the title of basically like the chief decision maker. All decisions that are made for the team or on behalf of the team through the league go through John. He's the guy who raises his hand and says yay or nay in the league meetings. Yep. Lewis is set to inherit the team as part of a trust. Well, what we have going on right now is we have a big old fatty fat lawsuit. Lewis is suing John. And he's accused him of firing valuable team members like coaches, the GM, and others to make it easier to move the team from Baltimore to Nashville because that's where John's wife is a country music producer. Ooh. Holy cow. Like, is this like she says, John, I don't want you commuting so far to work. I would really like to have you around the house more. And he's like, okay, I guess I'll bring work home. Like, is that what this is? Or is this just, I'm tired of being on the road for 6 months out of the year. Let's bring the team home. I don't know. Either way, he doesn't have the power to do that, despite basically having power of attorney, right?
Yeah.
And so Lewis is saying that he can't do that, and there's a lawsuit going because since he's set to inherit the team, that John can't do that. So Lewis is suing John. Luis Angelos is suing John Angelos, and it's going to be fascinating to follow this because really what it comes down to is he has to produce a piece of paper or some kind of documentation, basically, that says that he can't do that.
Right.
So this is like high drama, and it's unreal.
Fun fact: the Baltimore Orioles, Baltimore Orioles have been around for 122 seasons. They started out as the Milwaukee Brewers in 1901. Then they were moved to St. Louis, where they were the Browns from 1902 to 1953, and in 1954 to the present day, they have been the Baltimore Orioles. I don't think they're going to go without a ball club in Baltimore.
I don't think so either. Well, and one of the things, too, is so I was listening to Nothing Personal with David Sampson today, and one of the things that he was talking about with this as well was that one of the possible resolutions for this is that they could end up being forced to sell the team as like part of the decision that the court makes. And when it comes down to it, Major League Baseball is almost like, okay,
don't care.
You got to sell them. And I think part of the reason with that is because as teams sell for more and more and more, as it's one of those things like where you see the market value for something, everything else goes up, right? Yep. Like I believe the Marlins sold for $2.1 billion, 5-6 years ago, something like that. Yep. So if the Orioles go for $3 billion, then what does that bump the Marlins up to? And if the Marlins are up above that, then what are the Yankees at? What are the Red Sox at? The Dodgers? Like, it just increases the value of everything else. If you see what people are willing to pay for like a lower level team like the Baltimore Orioles, despite the history, despite the beautiful ballpark, despite everything.
Incredible. Yeah.
They're a low tier team, and they're not going to be worth nearly as much as even the Toronto Blue Jays.
Not the way they're playing.
So
and drawing crowd.
And if they go for $3 billion, then that helps the league.
And it helps the A's in their pursuits to move and possibly shift gears because they're in a big pickle, not to go too green on you, but they're in a big pickle when it comes to that. And if this is what the team is, if we're going to quickly find out what the Baltimore Orioles are worth, it's going to be interesting to see what the A's can do with that.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay. Let's move on past that because that is awesome. Baseball family, if you have an opinion, insight, or insider information on this, please let us know. We want to know.